For today's video lesson, you're going to need your close reader booklets. Open to page 80, and you're going to need either highlighters or you can just use a pen to mark up the text. We're going to be finishing this article, and let's look at what I want you guys to mark up the text with. So number 5 here at the bottom of page 80, it says, as you read lines 36 through 57, this is 36, the start of today's reading, continue to cite textual evidence. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to underline negative effects of using digital devices. So anything you see negative about using phones or computers, you're going to underline. You're going to circle positive effects of using digital devices. And then in the margins, which means on the right or the left side, you're going to explain what positions, pro or con, pro means good, con means bad, the author seems to emphasize. So right now, I want you to actually underline the words negative effect, or if you're going to highlight it in a certain color, highlight the word negative effects. And then I want you to circle positive effects, or if you're going to highlight this in a different color, highlight the words positive effects in a different color. Now, let's go ahead and start with this reading. Keeping in mind, we're looking for negative effects and positive effects of using digital devices.
The pros and the cons. One high school student from California aptly sums up the conflicting attitudes held by both adults and teenagers about the use of digital devices. Vishal is a bright 17-year-old with a passionate interest in filmmaking. As he puts it, technology is bad for me as a student because it has caused his grades to go down. On the other hand, he says, it is good for me as a learner. Vishal's access to technology has distracted him and made it difficult for him to concentrate on his assigned schoolwork. But it has also helped him to pursue in depth his interest in filmmaking.
So in this first paragraph, there are at least one pro and one con that Vishal, the 17-year-old student, pointed out. So make sure that you have marked this accordingly. And then I want you to write in the margins the good reason and then the bad reason to have technology. All right, moving on.
Currently, educators, scientists, parents, and even some teenagers themselves worry about the long-term effects of always being connected to
electronic devices.
Educators notice a decline in students' ability to concentrate on any one thing for an extended period of time.
I definitely noticed that. You guys, sometimes it's impossible to get you guys to focus on, let's say, this reading, for example, for an extended period of time or for a long period of time. You guys come up to me and go, oh, Mr. Matthew, I'm bored. This is boring, because you have a constant need to be entertained. All right, so it's hurting your ability to be able to focus on something that might not be entertaining, but is educational.
Scientists wonder about the long-term effects on a teenager's still developing brain. What do the instant gratification and rapid stimulation offered by electronic media do to a teenager's brain? Scientists also fear that yielding to one distraction after another develops an inability to focus. Parents worry about the presence of predators on social networking sites. They also are alarmed by the threat of cyberbullying. Teenagers, like Vishal and Allison, ask themselves if their slipping grades and inability to concentrate on school tasks are worth it.
All right, so this paragraph is full of cons for new technology. So you should be going through and marking all the cons here, underlining them or highlighting them in the color that you chose in this paragraph. And I want you to summarize, or you can even make a bullet point or a list of cons right here in the margins about using new technology. All right, let's go ahead and go on.
On the other hand, supporters argue that today's powerful cell phones offer teenagers new worlds of opportunity. They stress that understanding new technology is essential to future success. They recognize that tools, such as texting and Facebook, meet needs common to all teenagers, such as defining their personal identity and establishing their independence. These technologies provide new avenues for teenagers to do the things teenagers have always wanted to do: flirt, boast, gossip, complain, tease, and get news. Some educators see new technologies as an exciting way of connecting with students. Others view them as a tool for personalizing education and encouraging individual students' interests.
So this paragraph balances out the other one, where this one just talks about the positives of new technologies. So you should be circling or highlighting whatever color you chose, the different positive arguments that the author brings up in this paragraph. And again, go ahead and make a list on the side here of the positive arguments that this author is now pointing out for this paragraph. So now we're going to move on to number 6. We just did number 7. Number 7 is just kind of telling us to continue to close read and highlight the positives in this paragraph. Number 6 says, reread lines 36 through 57. Explain how the cause and effect pattern of organization is used in this section to connect ideas. Support your answer with explicit textual evidence. So this is another one of the writing prompts. And as I've been going through some of you guys' workbooks already and seeing what you guys have written, some of you guys aren't fully grasping what these writing prompts are actually asking. Some of you guys are just summarizing what the paragraph said. Some of you guys are just kind of talking about technology, it's whether it's good or bad. But I really want you guys to show me that you understand what this question is asking here. This is one that I will be checking when I do your portfolio check or your workbook check here at the end of this reading. So really, I want you to understand what this is saying. Don't just write down whatever you think because Mr. Massio is just going to blow over this. I'm worried that you guys don't understand what cause and effect means. So cause and effect is a tool of writing. So you say something, you say an argument, and then you show the effect of the argument. You say another argument, and then you say the effect. And that's showing your reader that, oh, wow, man, this thing that they're bringing up, this cause, really actually has a good or a bad effect on society or on people. So the author here in lines 36 through 57 really brings up or uses this organization of listing a cause and showing the effect. In this case, the cause is different type of new technologies, and the effect could be one of a few things. It talks about, let's see, I want to just check 36 through 57. So it's talking about how cause are different distractions that technology has and the effects that it has. On Vishal, it talks about how it hurts his grades. But it also talks about how it helps him to pursue filmmaking. So that's a cause and effect. The cause is the new technology, and the effect is either bad grades or really helps him to pursue his interest in filmmaking. So as you look through this on your own, and this paragraph as well, I want you to come up with how the author uses the cause and effect pattern of organization. And I want you to actually cite textual evidence or quote one sentence the author uses where it says, hey, this leads to this. All right, so this should take you a few minutes to go ahead and finish number 6. Once you're done with that, come back to the video. All right, let's go ahead and go to now the last page, page 82.
Wherever you stand on the various issues raised, there is no doubt that electronic devices are here to stay. How we use these devices, whether we choose to have them work for us or against us, is up to us.
Nice. So the author has a very nice concluding paragraph here. It's really just 2 sentences. And after showing us the goods and the bads for technology, the author says it's up to us whether we want to decide if technology and teenagers is a good combination or not. So let's go ahead and just go down to the short response section here. And this will be your final piece of work for this writing. Let's go ahead and read this together. Notice it's called Cite Text Evidence. So you will be citing evidence from the text we just read or copying one or two sentences to prove a point here that you're going to make. So it says, what types of information does the author include to show the ways in which teens use technological evidence or devices? So that's the first thing you're going to answer is what types of information? Does she use facts? Does she use opinions? Does she use quotes from teenagers? Does she use pros and cons? I'll give you a hint. She used all of those. So you're going to list some or even all of those answers. And it says, what overall insight, and insight means idea or way of thinking. So what overall insight does the reader gain on the use of these devices? So by the end of it, what's the overall information that the reader or that the author gave you on using these devices? Was the overall information good? Was the overall information bad? Or was it a good mix of both? Review your reading notes and be sure to cite evidence from the text in your response. So if you actually, as we're going through this, wrote in the margins and highlighted things, it's going to be so easy for you to just go back and go, oh, look, yeah, I totally wrote down the pros and cons, or I highlighted the goods and the bads when the teenagers were interviewed, or actually even highlighted the numerical data that she shared. So this should be probably 4 to 5 sentences here. Now, if you need some help with this, raise your hand and I'll come over and help you construct this. But essentially just focus on probably 2 sentences to answer this first question and maybe 3 sentences to answer this second question.